Hello. Sorry, I had to chop that one. At the end, I lost my thought. It is still August 16, 2021, and we're still talking about resistance. So the thought that we were going toward was that according to my own experience so far, the universe is a place of yes. Yes. Okay? Affirmation. So, and that doesn't necessarily mean good. It doesn't mean good or bad. It's yes, it means moving forward, creating, taking whatever it is and creating more of it. It's just yes. So, and we can see this in, we can see this in the thought that they're understanding now that the things that we give attention to, okay, are the things that grow, so to speak, in our lives, okay? The thing that we are paying attention to, that's the thing that takes on more and more energy, okay? And so that's an example of how the cosmos is yes. It's yes. Resistance is no, okay? And so that also makes me think of something that I've seen sometimes where it's like we make ourselves miserable when we just don't accept things for truthfully what they are. When we don't accept life on its terms, or rather, when we resist, we cause ourselves suffering, okay? Because this resistance or this negative response to what is happening is not a natural. It's not natural in the universe, okay? Because again, like we said, again, according to my own experience and the way I understand things at this moment, the universe is a yes. And so when we choose not to flow in that and accept and just move with what is, when we choose to resist what is, that's going against what naturally happens. What is naturally happening all the time is always a movement forward. And so to try and squeeze it and hold it down, put reins on it, or to manipulate things, we do that sometimes, don't we? Manipulate things to our liking instead of the way they are. In some way or other, it causes suffering. And if we really ponder that, we can understand that. So now let's get down to it. When we're talking about resistance, now the question, of course, is going to be, so are we saying here there's never a cause, there's never a necessity where resistance should come in? Okay. That's a big question, right? And of course, we don't like to make blanket statements because we don't have all the answers here, right? But again, according to my experience, that is true. That resistance isn't, or let's back up. What was the question? The question was, is there ever a time where it's appropriate to resist? Right now, at this moment, the answer that we would put forth is no. No. So of course we can take that and say, so you're saying that if this happens, then I should just, okay. All right, again, we would have to break it down into individual situations to really see the validity of that statement, the truthfulness of it, right? We're not talking about here when someone has done something and has caused you harm or caused harm or pain or suffering or is unjust. We're not saying we're supposed to roll over and go with that. That's not what we're talking about. Those kind of situations, okay, so anything that, no, not anything that happens, just go along with it, big old thumbs up. Okay, you got the green light. Do whatever you want. That's what the universe is. We're not saying that, okay? We're talking about, let's give an example so that this can be more clear, more understandable here. We're talking about, you're in a situation right now that is XYZ. This is the situation, okay? First and foremost is to recognize what that situation is, not to frill it up or sugarcoat it or twist it and manipulate it into something that's more palatable for us to be able to deal with, say. No, that's resistance. Okay? We're not talking about situations where something is clearly unethical and wrong and harmful and rolling over with that. No, that's not resistance. Okay, that is, it looks like, because the way we use language, sometimes terms and expressions are misunderstood and misused. That is actually, if you think about this, when there is injustice or there is whatever, something like that happening, that is resistance. Injustice is resistance because the natural order of things is just. See? And so if we were to just roll over, as we said, when we recognize something as unjust, we are participating in the resistance. Okay? We are joining forces with the thing that is not yes, that is resisting the natural way. Does that make sense? It's only when we put ourselves in the position of going against the natural, organic way that life moves, that's when we are being resistant. That's when we are resisting. Okay? So again, see, in those subtle details, we understand the true essence of these terms and expressions. Okay? So, and, by the same token, when something is unjust and we don't, we're always going to be participating. We choose how we're going to participate. If we participate in a way that says, yeah, this is not okay. This is resistance with this face on of injustice. This is not okay. And we align ourselves in whatever way or shape that takes with justice. That is natural. That's moving in the flow of the way the universe works. When we acquiesce to whatever the thing is. Oh, what is this? It's so cute. Sorry. then we're adding fuel, we're adding energy to the resistance. So anyway, so that's that. We're not gonna develop that too much. You guys have brains and ability to think about that. And also something we didn't mention is resistance toward not just occurrences going on outside us, but even within. Sometimes so here's an example. Sometimes we come to a realization of something and it's heavy, and it's like, oh crap, it is what it is. And this is just within ourselves, okay, in our own thoughts and contemplation. And we realize, not even contemplate, just in our own thoughts, we understand that something's not quite the way it ought to be. We feel it in our gut. Sometimes in those situations, it's, quote, easier to just go with whatever the thing is. If we're going to have to address it, or we're going to have to make some kind of change or just alteration in something that feels not good. It's like, okay, here's this pile of crap that I now realize exists. I didn't know it did before, and I was kind of happier before I knew it. Now it is what it is. I see it. Okay. All that wave that we just described of dealing with it, that's resistance. Of just kind of, you know what, I got other things going on, and just try to push it away. That's resistance. Okay. When life shows us something and we say no, that's working against life. Okay. It's we're speaking into this device here, and that's easy enough to do, but in real life that's difficult, because sometimes these realizations would require big change on our part, right? And if we've become complacent at all, which this world that we live in right now has really encouraged, yeah, just whatever, just whatever's easiest. And also, just going to interject here that everything that is, all the things that are discouraging to us, that kind of weigh us down, those things take our energy, and there's a lot of that crap in this world right now. Things that weigh us down, take our energy, and when you're in that mindset where you're just like, I can't even think about it right now, which a lot of times we are, which, wonder why this system has been set up that way, to zap us of our energy, so that when we're called upon, we're just like, we're going to just take the easy way out, right? Don't remember the beginning of that sentence, but it's difficult sometimes. Most times it's difficult to stay in the flow instead of just being comfortable and allowing things that are not in flow. But it's important, because like we said at the outset, we all hold so much energy and power within us, in our bodies, okay? And so sometimes, even if we don't know the solution or how something is going to not work itself out, but how we're going to move about after a realization, that's okay. The first step is just to see what is and accept it, okay? I believe the universe is not so callous to just throw us in these situations and then demand that we make our decision right there on the spot. What are you going to do? No, What you're going to do is just look at it and say, okay, this is what it is. That is moving in flow. To not do that is resistance, okay? So, and the West, we live in a world of instant gratification. Move, 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 go, go, go. Can't stop, can't stop. But that's not how this works. The way this works is, okay, stop. Just digest the reality now first. Don't think about who, what, where, when, why. That's going to follow this. And that's it. Just to sit with, because if we don't allow ourselves to just, and we make a knee-jerk reaction in any direction, that's not really advisable. Okay? Just, it's like planting seeds and demanding that, and when I come out tomorrow, it's going to all have come up and bloomed and done the thing. It doesn't work that way. Life does not work that way. So we're going to have to do a part 3 to this. This part's long, but we'll talk about this a little bit further. We'll have a 3rd installment on this one eventually. We'll see, maybe later today. So those are just some things to think about, and hopefully it's been informative to someone, maybe even encouraging. And as always, we want to wish you much love. Bye.